Recorded? Okay. I'm calling the Dayton Historical Commission meeting of August 10th to order. I'm Pat Gales, the chairperson. Here tonight is Pat Olson, member, Gail Salve, member, Pam Nickerson, member, and on Zoom is Ken Pacheco, the liaison for the Board of Selectmen. Can we stand for the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America,
and to
and
the
to the
republic
republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. Can we just note that Rafa and Bill are not here tonight? All right, the secretary's report. Did everyone receive copies of the secretary's report? I do have some changes for you.
I know, it was getting so late. I felt guilty for having you.
We met at Town Hall at 779 Somerset Ave, so that's one change. A motion to waive the reading of the minutes, including June 3rd, 2021, plus all the other ones, was made by Pat, by Olson and so moved by Nickerson. The change is the addition of June 3rd. That was our budget meeting.
Okay, what did we put? What?
It was June 3rd, 2021, June 8th, 2021, June 15th, 2021, and June 28th, 2021 were all the minutes we did.
Okay, so we should have added June 3rd.
Yeah, so I just inserted
Okay.
it. Down under the FY22 Dayton
Mhm.
DHC budget, that was approved at annual town meeting on June 7th, not by the selectmen. Under preservation planning, the 29 consultants were emailed the RFQ. And then the fourth bullet where it's Mullen, Delphin, and Gales have a rubric that's for preservation consultant selection, crossing out 4 phases. The next change is August 11th, 2021 is the deadline.
Oh, not 12.
Yeah, that might have been my fault.
Okay.
Then once the consultant will send invoices to the accountant. Once the project is complete, then on to the Massachusetts Historical Commission for reimbursement. Under archival plans for the town clerk, it should read, he, Pat Gales, and Myrna Santos met to discuss conservation experts digitizing old property books, etc. The changes are adding my name and that we met. And that's it. Did anybody else have any additions or changes? Okay. I'll entertain a motion to waive the reading of the minutes.
I'll make a motion to waive reading of the minutes of July 13th.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes of July 13th, 2021 as amended.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of July 13th, 2021 as amended. I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any abstentions? No's? Okay. And the minutes are accepted. Thank you. On our budget, we have one expense of $24.79 from Home Depot billed through Jim Aguirre to us for the materials to repair our cabinet. So that leaves us a balance in our $1,000 budget of $975.21. I haven't gotten anything official from the town accountant. Have they done, Ken, like, you know how they usually do the line item budgets to you? We haven't gotten anything. I know the accountant just was hired on board.
Yeah, she just started Monday. Actually last Monday. Nobody, I don't believe anybody has gotten that, but you can get that information. You can ask them to provide you with your line item for your budget. I did that for the I did that for the Human Rights Committee. I asked for a copy of their budget and they gave it to me.
Because when we put our budget was cut at the FY 22 by 50%. And when we had put that in, we'd had certain allocations for each line item, which we probably want to reshuffle for the $1,000. So that's what I was looking to do.
Yeah, I know that for the Human Rights Committee, they put the $1,000 for their budget on the communications. So I need to find out what they consider communications. Is that printing? Is that hiring a speaker to come in? Yeah. I'm not sure. So you need to see where they put the money. And I think you're going to be seeking more money at the special town meeting. If this money is not allocated properly, you want to, for that budget, if you're requesting an increase, you can change the line item that you want to put the money in. But you need to find out from them how much money you have and what line item or items they put that money in. I don't remember offhand. I don't think I have a copy of that.
So I'll contact the town accountant and
Janelle Vining is her name.
So we may have to have a budget meeting of the historical commission with that information, because the warrant for the special town meeting opens tomorrow and closes September 9th. So that would be before our next meeting. Okay. I did take a look at our past spending and just kind of figure out where we were at. In FY20, we had a budget of $1,500. We spent $992.17. So we had a leftover balance of $500.07 and $507.83. So we spent, about a little more than half of what our budget was. The same thing happened in FY21, even with including the encumbered funds. We spent in FY21 $925.78, and our balance was $1,074.22 left over. Granted, we didn't do a lot of spending in FY21 because of COVID and all of that, but so there's a pattern of using about 50% of our budget. So in FY22, we requested the 2,000. The Finance Committee approved 1,000, so which follows the pattern. So I was trying to figure out where we would be spending money. We had mentioned a tablecloth for our events. So we would need to get some prices on that. I also thought we should be buying, like we need some notebooks to store minutes and agendas in for downstairs. We also will need some notebooks for our commission members for when we're doing the survey and planning grant with all of the paperwork that'll go along with that. So kind of like some office supplies that we will be needing. There is a conference coming up, so that would use some of our professional and technical money, and we'll be talking about that later on. That is a cost of $25 a person to go. It's a virtual conference, so that would be in there. So that's kind of like what we need to think about, where we want our money to go. I can send everyone the information I get from the town accountant prior to setting a date for a budget meeting. Okay, does that make sense? All right. That sound logical to you, Ken?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yep.
For our encumbered monies from FY21, the invoice was submitted, so that should be all set and taken care of. Okay. Any questions about budget stuff?
Pat?
Yep.
I would just suggest that you talk to Mike Mullen and have him put a placeholder for the Historical Commission that you're going to be asking at the special town meeting for an increase. You don't have to give him the amount, but there'd be a placeholder, so at least we know that you want a warrant article. And you guys can determine what that warrant article is gonna, what the amount is gonna be and what it's gonna be used for. So I would just talk to Mike Mullen about that.
I can do that. Very good. Thanks, Ken. Moving on, next on the agenda is Community Preservation Committee appointment. Well, in reading our new commission handbook, committee handbook, it says Board of Selectmen are to appoint committees. So it's like, oh, you know, Bill goes, but he was never presented to the Board of Selectmen. I reached out to Mike Mullen and Leanne about it, and to the CPC, he is our liaison. He does not have to be appointed by the Board of Selectmen, but we have to notify the town clerk, which I did not know, so it did not get done. So I will send a letter to the town clerk and copy it to the town administrator. The date of the vote, which was November. Was November 10th, 2020. So I will send that to the clerk and to Mike Mullen, the date of the vote that we made for Bill to be on the CPC. And that will clear that up.
Excuse me, Pat, does he have to be reappointed, or that person has to be reappointed every July? I'm wondering if
What I asked Mike was, I said, Bill Pruitt has been serving as a historical commission representative to CPC. Does he need to be appointed by the Board of Selectmen? And he said, no, he doesn't need to be appointed, but he does need to be appointed formally by the Historical Commission, and a letter from the commission reflected said vote approval needs to be submitted to town clerk.
I would suggest, since that it's on the agenda anyway, that there be a motion and a second and to be voted on to appoint him tonight to be CPC, Historical Commission's representative for the CPC, just so you have a more current date. I saw another committee just recently appointed it, someone from there. I think it was the planning board, their person to the CPC. So I know they did that recently. So I'm only suggesting, just to make sure you don't have to address this again in September, that maybe someone will make a motion and second it that Bill Pruitt be the representative of the Historic Commission to CPC. Okay. He indicated already that he would accept it. So
right, he did.
And that way you can just send a letter with today's date.
Okay. Did we say for the upcoming year, or?
She's looking at you, Ken. Put the drink down.
I didn't hear it. Once in a while, Pat fades out, the voice.
It's probably because I'm sitting to the side.
It's not vodka.
Let us in on that.
Should we say for the year, or just that we appointed him?
You appointed him, and I think next July you would have to reappoint him or somebody else. So I just said that he was reappointed to be the representative of the Historic Commission CPC for the CPC.
That made the motion. Is there a second? Seconded. Any further discussion? Vote. All in favor? No, motion carried. Unfinished business, the Boston Post King. Pam, did you do any work on getting the price quote for the stand, for the plaque?
No, I still, I want to get a better idea of where exactly we want to put it in, cabinet. I mean, I'm almost looking like center on that second shelf. but,
Yeah, yeah.
You know, I don't feel there's really any rush because we're not ready. But
Okay.
I told you last month when I checked with JC Trophy, they're pretty expensive. My mom did go to Riverside Art and ask about those. They have them because she was looking for it for another, but they're also pretty pricey there too, and it would have to be ordered.
All right.
So
Could you get some prices
I
so
can do
that
both.
we
Yep.
have an idea for our budget planning?
It seems to be in the range of 150 up to 200, which seems like a lot to me, but it's
Okay.
pretty hefty, you
Right.
know, of an item.
Right.
Yes, I will have that for next month.
Okay. Next is the James Briggs plaque photo. I have not heard from Mr. Derrick regarding any family photos yet. So I did check at the Historical Society and they had a photo. And it's not very good. It's in black and white. It's actually a copy of a copy.
What year is it?
This is Elaine Varley's handwriting, and it's like probably the 1912 bicentennial. I don't know if they'd be able to do something with that. And of course, we would have to say it's courtesy of the Dayton Historical Society.
Oh, but it's a crappy picture.
It is. It is. So
The magazine that it was in, the magazine that it was
Early
featured,
American,
was there a picture of the outside? In the
I
article?
don't know. I don't know.
You would think, seriously, you know, here's this magazine doing this article about this old house. You would think there'd be a small, not a big one, but a
No.
small picture of the exterior. And that would be color and that would be a nice picture.
Yeah, because the other one is the one from the auction, which is awful.
Oh, that's terrible. We don't want to.
You know, that's, see, Ken, that's awful.
Yeah.
Would have been beautiful though, the bunting and the.
Right? It would have been.
All right, we
Perfect.
can research the Early American magazine, see if they have
Well,
one.
if it's a copy from the Historical Society has a copy,
Yeah,
what's it a copy from?
I don't know where the original is.
Oh, so there is no original. That's
Well,
it.
there's got, no, there's gotta be an original because that's a copy.
Right.
We just don't know who has the original.
Oh, okay.
I just had a thought.
Wouldn't be in any of the old Dayton books.
I was thinking maybe the 1912 bicentennial book. There is a bicentennial book.
Yeah. I got
Yeah,
it.
I have one at home, yeah. All right, we'll keep searching.
Okay.
Okay. Right. Preservation and planning, our grant status. Tomorrow is the deadline for proposals. So I'm gonna check in with Mike Mullen and see if we have any. Hopefully we have 2 or 3. The contract between the town of Dayton and the state Massachusetts Historical Commission is being presented tomorrow night for Ken to sign. Ken, you saw that email about the contract?
Yes.
And it's on, have you seen the contract?
Excuse me?
Have you seen the contract?
No, I haven't seen the contract, but it may be in the packet that we were sent today
It should be,
for tomorrow night's meeting. Yeah.
okay. I am planning on being there to answer any questions because part of it includes the scope and sequence so that I can address that. Anyone's welcome to join us. The rubric has been designed for the preservation consultant process, and we will be setting up a meeting for the selection process, so that will include all of us. Ken, do you want to sit in on the selection process as a non-voting member?
I'm not sure I should because I think
Okay.
the board probably votes on it eventually.
Eventually, yep.
Yeah. When were you planning on having that meeting?
I have to talk with Mike and we'd have to set a date with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Wouldn't mind.
I wouldn't mind attending that meeting.
Okay, okay. I'll keep you in the loop.
Yep.
All right. The historical marker program. So Rafa put together a letter and a packet for the homeowners in our National Register districts. I reviewed the letter. I think it's fine. He talks about letterhead, and he had 3 different designs of letterhead. We also have stationery with letterhead. And I brought it with me. It looks like this.
I thought he did 4 options.
He did 3 or 4, I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah. But this is what we have with the town seal. It doesn't have the address on it, but
I would have put down the last option, but that's perfect. We already have it.
Yeah,
Why
we
not?
already have
Yep,
it.
why
Yeah.
not?
Everything, yeah, right there.
yes. And I think there is, I mean, I have some, and I think there's some down in our files.
Oh, wow, okay.
So, we'll just have to keep track of our letterhead. Okay. All right. If we are in agreement to the letter for the homeowners in the National Register districts, I will entertain a motion for such.
Okay, so I make a motion that we accept Rafa's letter for the homeowners in the National Register districts. They will receive that letter.
Is there a second?
You want to include on the,
On our,
Okay, on our current,
and our current letterhead.
yep, okay, I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and that motion carries unanimously. The properties eligible for historic markers. Rafa had sent an email indicating that Bob
Woody,
Woody is interested in applying for a historical marker for his house. And they're questioning the requirement that a historical marker be named after the original owner or person. And she says that per the deed, the original owner is Dighton Factories. In fact, Dighton Factories is the name on the deeds of most of the houses in that area. So she said that all of those houses, if they want historical markers, should have Dighton Factories on the marker and not the name of the first resident. And the question is, what does everyone think? And since it was through an email, I brought it here tonight for us to discuss
I agree.
that it should be Dighton Factories.
And that's a unifying, it will be unifying for all the other homes that they're all part of the old, they're a mill house. And that just says, hello, we're part of that group of mill house.
Right.
That's something to be proud of.
That's right, Millhouse, yeah,
I agree.
that's highlighted.
And in the the application, it says the original owner.
Mhm.
Or-
And they are
or
the
the
original.
yeah, we
historical,
have to
yeah.
stick with that.
Yeah,
Right.
it follows, that would follow our application,
Mhm.
definitions,
Yep.
so, okay, we're good. This kind of leads into our local historic districts. We handed out like 5 or 6 of the applications for the historical markers. And, people were really interested in it. And I've talked to a couple of people about them taking an application for their homes. And a couple of them, well, they both said to me, oh, what does that mean for my house? Does that mean I can't do certain things to my house if I have a marker on it? So I said, no, it's just a marker that says your house is 100 years plus old. Oh, okay. So in that, I think we have to do some education of our citizens of Dighton, just exactly what the historical marker program is. And that leads into local historic districts, because Rafa had reached out to the Massachusetts Historical Commission to the new local government program coordinator, inquiring about how to go about establishing a local historic district in Dayton. That's something that before we even can talk to anybody about, we need to educate ourselves on. And there is attached to that email was the handbook for how to establish a local historic district. And in her email, this Jennifer Doherty, she also said, looking at the level of documentation in Dayton, that inventory forms have to be updated if we're looking in a particular area, which ties into what our grant is doing to update those inventory forms. And that included our older homes, which included along 138 here and in different sections of town. So it's kind of like, I think we have to learn about the local historic districts so that we can educate people about it. We also have to have the documentation done on the inventory form. So we have a lot of work to do before we can start establishing or thinking about establishing local historic districts. I am like all for reviewing the handbook from the Massachusetts Historical Commission if we want to make that a part of our meetings, like a little bit at a time. Also, the Preservation Massachusetts website has a video about establishing local historic districts. So there's some information out there. All right. Now that I've said all that I have to say, is there any input, thoughts, what we need to do?
Well, it would seem to me that establishing that district is going to be greatly moved forward when we receive our planning grants, right? I mean, our reviews from the consultants, right? Is that true with that?
I don't think that's true, only because the homes that we've listed on there, very few would be from the district that we're trying to establish. Bummer.
Oh, what district are we trying to establish?
I believe Rafa is looking to establish one in North Dayton around the mill.
Okay.
That's my
That
that's
was
my
mine as well.
understanding. You know,
Okay.
maybe I'm dead wrong, but that's what I thought. And there are maybe none or maybe one or two homes on that existing list.
Right. So,
Wait,
So that ain't gonna buy
I
us
thought we
anything.
said that there were several over there that say Dayton factories.
No,
That's a different area?
no, that's the same area.
It's the same area.
You can, we're talking about the historical markers can say Dayton factories on it. And we know that those houses have been there. And in order for them to prove that they're 100 years old, they don't have the inventory forms, but we could use other research items to say that they are 100 years old. If you look at the Macris website, the database, there is a start of one for Mount Hope and that whole area, Mount Hope Finishing Company. It is very, very, very incomplete. And I don't even know how, like who did it or how it got there and why it's so incomplete. It was done maybe late 70s, early 80s. So that area does need a lot of work. And one of the thoughts that I had about that, after seeing that area form on the Macris website, was that could be the next area that we apply for a grant or something to get that documented.
Right.
We certainly could do that, but I was
Yeah.
thinking that when we got this first grant,
Yeah.
couldn't we see what they do, whoever we award this thing to? And I'm not saying you're gonna sit with them 24/7, but couldn't we mimic what they do for this other district?
We could,
That
Yeah,
was
that's
what
certainly-
So
I
that's
thought.
not gonna cost
I
us
mean,
anything, and
yeah.
there's no
Yeah.
other grant or
We're kind
anything
of
like
just
that.
regurgitating.
But we need to see what a professional, and how did
Right.
you
Right.
start this? What did you do
Yeah,
first?
right.
And what did you do
Right.
next?
Yeah.
And you just take notes and you go,
Jot
duh,
down,
I can do
yeah.
that.
right. And the other thing too is once we get those all of the inventory forms updated through the grant that we have. There could be districts within there that could be a local district. My understanding is a local district doesn't have to be defined by a number of houses. It can be one building.
Oh.
So there's a lot we have to learn about local historic districts before we really are entertaining the thoughts for that. Okay. So is it a good idea if we just take a look at the handbook and say, you know, we read, I don't know.
You sent that to us a while ago, right?
Is an attachment.
And it
Yeah,
was
I
in
can
black
read-
and white.
I can,
I'm sorry, color, right?
Yeah.
July 29th is what.
Rafa, I think, had it attached to his email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It is pretty long, so.
it is, it's
It
like
is.
64
Yep,
pages.
64.
There goes all your blue paper you just stole from work.
Yeah, hey, that's on
That's
record
only
now.
from
No. So,
Okay. How about we just go watch the video?
how about,
Watch the
okay,
I know.
Yeah, that cheat sheet and watch the video and then.
you can watch, the video
Yeah.
is general, because I watched it, I'll rewatch it, but for next time, why don't we say, let's watch the
Okay.
video and go
Okay,
from
that's
there,
good homework.
okay?
Mhm.
And are you going to send
I'll,
out
I'll send the
a
link,
link?
Oh, thank you.
okay. Good. Oh, next is the board and committee handbook that we got from Leanne. Everyone got it?
Yes.
Okay, and I read it. And in it, it describes the roles of the chair and the clerk according to the handbook. So Pam, you and I can sit down and figure out how that's going to work for, for you. There's a lot that ends up on the clerk to be doing. So, and one of the things that is up to the clerk is to upload like our agendas, our approved minutes to the website to maintain our part of the town website. Rafa has been doing that. We can certainly, ask him or appoint him to do that, to continue doing that in order to spread out, the workload. Leanne is going to offer a 1-hour workshop sometime in September and about how to use the website and how to do it.
Okay.
Um,
I'd sit in on that with Rafa.
yeah, she said
Yeah.
one person would be going from each committee. So,
Okay.
so we'd have to figure that out.
I mean, if Rafa has been doing it, I can ask him. if
Well,
he's willing
we'll
to
also, yeah, if he
continue. Is
wants
that
to
okay?
continue, yeah, we can figure
Okay.
that out. Okay. It also talked about the record keeping, the minutes. It was full of a lot of good information. So. All right, does anyone have any other questions about the handbook? Ken, that handbook was very inclusive of a lot of stuff. I think it's going to be really helpful.
Yes, and we can credit Brett Sugafis for writing that. It was his idea to come up with a handbook, and he wrote the handbook. So he did a good job.
I found it helpful, even though I've been doing this for a while, it was helpful. All right. Preservation Massachusetts is having a conference on September 23rd and 24th. This year it's virtual. 2 years ago, Rafa and I attended it in person. It was really nice. It's on September 23rd and 24th. It's a Thursday and a Friday from 9 to noon. It costs $25 to register, and the registration fee includes 2 days of the live sessions. And then you're also, if you can't make the live sessions, you can access recordings of it. They have a resource room, post-conference discussion sessions. So, given that I went in person the last time, I am planning on going. to this. And I think we should consider paying any commission members' fee or reimbursing them once they pay it. Because you have to pay online, so you would have to register, pay online, and then submit for reimbursement. So, does anyone have anything, any discussion?
Is there a general, are you able to pick?
Yeah,
Because
I
you
looked,
picked in Plymouth, I remember
Yeah.
you picked historic women and,
Oh, yeah. so
Right.
all the things you want.
yeah, I mean,
each time block, when I looked at it real quick, seemed to have 3 or 4 choices that you could choose from.
Nice, that's great.
Mhm.
So,
Wow.
it's a lot of information. And I like the fact that you have the recordings that you can access
Mhm.
later in case you can't really attend all of them. So I would entertain a motion to reimburse any of our historical commission members who choose to attend this virtual preservation conference, September 23rd and 24th.
I make a motion to reimburse any Dayton Historical Commission members who decide to attend the virtual conference with the Preservation Massachusetts on September 23rd and 24th, which we believe is $25, right?
Yes, it
Yep,
is $25, yes.
I'll second that.
Okay. Any further discussion? All right.
Yes,
let's vote.
yes. Can you
Yes.
hear me? Yes, I also plan to attend. I'm not a member of the commission. I'm going to ask the Board of Selectmen to take it out of their budget. I don't want to take it out of your budget. But if they don't, I'll pay the $25. I don't expect to get reimbursed from the Historic Commission anyway.
Okay. Thanks, Ken.
Just, remember that with the cookies and the ounces of the cups.
All right. So we have a motion and a second regarding reimbursement for the preservation conference. All in favor? Aye. And so that was unanimous. That motion carries. Wonderful. Rafa arranged a visit to Bristol Aggie School with Adele Sands, and Rafa, Pat Olson, and Pam Nickerson are planning on going on August 12th, this Thursday.
Where do we park?
I'm not
I've been
sure.
driving by going, where do we park?
I don't know. Perhaps. I know they were parked today in the field, but
Yeah,
I don't know.
They've been parking in the field.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we're going to that new building on the, if you head down toward the bridge, we're going to the new building on the left?
I don't
Yes.
know.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so just keep going, park down in the field and walk up?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. What time is that? Yeah, what do you
What
want to measure?
area? Well, I want to see how big the area is that they've given us.
Oh, okay.
Just then we know what size photo, if we decide to put a photo, or
Right.
how many other artifacts that we have.
Not only artifacts, but even if there's a story of who Nate Crane was, what he was to Dayton, why that spot is important would be somehow if we could display that. So, and I'm sure Mrs. Sands has some ideas too.
And Rafa has plenty of pictures.
Right. So we'll look forward to hearing your report at our September meeting. Okay, there was no correspondence in the mailbox. Bill did send me an ancestry chart. His charge was to tell us some family information on James Briggs. He sent an ancestry chart of Captain James Briggs, and it basically is a pedigree tree that indicates parents and grandparents and the generations that go back. And it looks like he got the Briggs back to like 1675 or so. So maybe he could all do a descendant tree so that we can see who James Briggs' kids were.
Right, right.
So, but that was interesting, and thank Bill for that.
Well, he did that on the second
Oh, is that
attachment.
Oh, mine just had a,
So it goes
Oh, no.
No,
yeah,
it is.
no, that's the ancestors.
Oh, yeah,
Oh, no,
every kid
oh.
who did everything.
I didn't get that.
Right.
This,
Oh.
wait, this one?
But it depends on
Like
which
Peter
attachment
Pits
you
and-
print out, because one I couldn't get to download and.
Oh, wait a minute, I only.
Oh,
have-
maybe because
Oh,
I
I
did it from
only
a
have
down.
page
That's
one.
all I had. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so
all I
I think
have.
if you print the second attachment, it's gonna have everything. I couldn't remember which attachment.
It
it had.
talks
Oh,
about all the
because-
Oh,
children.
okay, I didn't see that
Oh,
either.
Yeah, 'cause I was gonna say, I think this is what all this is, right? This is all this.
oh, okay. Oh,
It does have each, ancestor.
Oh,
I did the same thing, whatever that means. right?
oh, interesting. Yeah, because when I looked at it, it just had like the cover sheet, and I'm like, well, that doesn't do me any
No.
good.
Yeah, then you
Yeah.
have to, then when I went to print out the other one, it actually downloaded
Mhm.
information.
Oh, all right. Excellent. Oh, that's great to have.
Wait a minute,
It
I'm
is.
Still not.
Treasure.
Well, we'll
Oh,
Have Gail-
yeah, okay, I have a cover page. Why does it say, does it go all the way up to page 16?
Yeah, about.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I
Oh, and
apologize.
I tried to get it to go the other way,
Oh,
instead of,
So I wonder what
horizontal
page I
instead of-
even got.
okay.
Well, it's irrelevant, I'll do a better job and, wow, okay, that was a
Oh.
good job.
thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Bill.
We still have one vacancy on our commission. Commission terms. Pat, you started in October of 2011.
Even better. That means this year's my party.
this is your party.
That's right, you're a decade.
This
You're
year.
a decade, yep. And here is your letter. So I will email everyone the listing of our commission terms and our remaining meeting dates. Okay, so we'll have that's finally settled. And
Okay, should I bring my own cake or what?
Hey, it's October.
You
No,
obviously
we seem
think
to
I'm
all
kidding.
like cookies.
Cookies.
All right, I'm bringing refreshments.
October.
Don't come remote that night, Ken.
What are we saying?
We will probably be shut down by then.
Oh, please
Oh,
don't say that.
Numbers are going up.
I know, it's all, yeah, but they'll start going down. Let's be positive.
Please get vaccinated.
Oh, please. All right, so September 15th is the Board of Selectmen's spotlight on the Historical Commission. It's a 5-minute presentation with questions and answers. Jeff Cavallo from the Trails Committee did a PowerPoint. Yeah, Kevin Smith from Open Space, he just did an oral presentation. So,
What are your thoughts?
I think Ken should dress up. Come on, I mean, we want to do something historical, we want to do something outstanding. So
Well-
if Ken were to dress up in his regalia,
I was
would
gonna
that
say,
not,
I usually dress up for the meetings anyway.
oh, but no tie.
different kind of dress,
Absolutely.
Ken?
Yeah.
Different kind of dress.
I
But I
took my
just thought
tie
that
off in
would-
2015 when I retired. Haven't put it back on.
That would make such an impact, don't you think?
Oh, if he came in his
Show and tell. No, I mean, I
militia.
think we have to talk about some of the victories we've had.
Yep.
Show and tell is always great. So let's bring in what we have to show and tell. I
Are
don't
we
know.
dragging in Mrs. Sylvia?
And-
What do you want to do here? What
we
show
can
and
bring
tell?
in our plaque. Whoever goes should be wearing their shirts. That reminds me, somebody asked me for 3 bracelets. Who hasn't? You have. Okay, I'll swing by. And we could maybe just list 2 goals that we have, which is doing our case and maybe something at Nat Crane and our continued role with the community gardens. That'd be 5 minutes, right?
I think you would, yeah, that's good.
I think we can kind of go over our mission statement.
Yeah.
Um, Okay,
What time is that?
I'm not sure what time. What time, that's usually fairly early in the agenda, I
Yeah,
think.
the meeting starts at 6, so you should probably be there at 6.
Okay,
Thank
So
you.
I'm the chairman. Make sure it's 5 minutes or less. You'll hear the gavel. You can talk
and you
as long,
can't, then you can't ask any questions.
you can talk as long as you want. You should also mention that you archive, you use archival boxes for all the stuff that's in the Historic Commission has in the safe. That,
Okay.
you know, that's, you know, you're trying to preserve the items in the town hall, which I think is great.
Prior, Ken? No.
You want to talk?
No, I'm saying we'll rehearse to Ken, you know, so that he cheats on the, we have an ability to cheat on the question, because we know. You know, if we ask the ancestry of Briggs or something, was he a sea captain? Was he a Revolutionary War captain? I mean,
All right,
The Board of Selectmen are not that sophisticated. They won't be asking difficult
don't
questions.
say that. Don't say that.
Is this
All
being
right.
recorded? Is this being recorded?
yeah.
Yeah.
You're busted. That's it.
You didn't want to run again, Ken?
Open meeting law, we can't
Anyway.
delete it.
Anyway, we'll be there. I'll start to put some stuff together, an outline, and I will talk as the chair, but if anyone is more than willing to step up to the plate, I will hand it to you.
I'm happy to attend, but I don't know
Okay,
about speaking.
okay.
I mean,
All right. One thing that I did listen to, I listened to Jeff Cavallo during his presentation. I forget who it was. I think it was Lenny mentioned that the Trails Committee should reach out to the Historical Commission, or was it you, Ken? Because of the historic value along the river, because and where the trails are along the railroad tracks and stuff.
Yeah, no, I thought he asked that, that they reach out to the Native Americans, to see what's, and maybe the Historic Commission also. I think actually,
Yeah,
I think he actually said the Historical Society, but it should be the commission.
right,
About any
right.
Native Americans trails that may cross or be on the same path.
right. I think it was Lenny because he talked about the old Bristol path.
Yeah.
Yeah, so,
So we've asked the Dayton Trails because they got a warrant article for the November special town meeting. We're thinking of having a public meeting on all the warrants before the special town meeting, so we can talk, let the public know what we're looking for on the different warrants. So if we're going to have a warrant on for the Historic Commission, it's a possibility we may ask that the chairperson be present for that also, just to let the public know. It'll be recorded, obviously. Let the public know why we're seeking the money. And it'll make it easy at the special town meeting. It'll answer some people's questions. So just a thought.
okay, nope, not a problem. Does anyone have anything else? No, okay. I have public input next, but there's no public here. So I'll,
I have a comment. And when you
Yes.
said anything else, I didn't quite know.
oh,
Anyone who's interested, the Somerset Library is having Dolly Madison come
oh,
to their library. Oh,
I
yeah,
didn't see
Pat,
that.
Pat, not for me and you. It's the same day as our cookbook. Get
oh
together.
dear.
So, I mean, they could go. Dolly Madison will be at the Somerset Library, August 16th, which is a Monday
Oh,
at
I won't
6
be here.
p.m.
Yeah,
I thought she
And it's-
passed away.
No,
not
no,
yet.
No.
she died after this visit.
she's bringing cookies.
And it's
too.
free. It's, you
Oatmeal.
register online.
That stuff's
Oatmeal
amazing.
cookies.
But you go in
Oatmeal,
person, I hope.
oatmeal cookies.
Excuse me?
Ken,
You're in person, and it's kind
She's
of like,
dressed up, yeah.
you were telling me the tea you went to with Mrs. Roosevelt?
Mhm.
Okay.
no, that's the Historical Society
Yeah.
is having that.
But this is the
Yeah.
Somerset
Right.
Library, and it's on 138 and 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so,
Well,
Go to their
Well, thank
website
you,
and you can
Pat.
register.
all right.
Let's talk and see if we wanna.
Anything else? Well, while we're mentioning events, September 9th is a walk in the cemetery with the Gravestone Girls.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Sponsored by the Historical Society, which I am a member of. And
And how do we register or pay for
You
that?
don't, it's free.
Oh, it's free.
Just show up at, it's a grant, it's a local cultural council grant.
Show up at where?
At the Unitarian Church parking lot by 5:45. And we'll walk the cemetery with Brenda Sullivan, one of the gravestone girls.
Excellent.
Wow, that's awesome.
Bring a flashlight.
Bring a flashlight and bug spray. And on September 19th is a tea with Bella Lockwood at Central Hall at the community church. Tickets are $10. And Bella Lockwood was the first woman to run for president. She couldn't vote, but she could run for president. And okay,
Wow.
so those are two. Yep, that's also sponsored by the Historical Society.
Wow.
Okay. Now, if we've covered everything, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I second that.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting adjourned. Okay, thank you. Thank you,
night.
Ken.
Bye,
Good night.
Kate.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Bye.